The swamp hides many secrets, but Troy Landry's jaw-dropping revelation about Pickleweed is one that could change everything we thought we knew about their unbreakable bond. Troy has unleashed a truth about Pickle that's as shocking as a gator's snap. Fans are reeling, and the swamp's tight-knit community is buzzing with whispers. What could be so devastating about Pickle's story that even Troy can't hide his pain? Get ready. The final twist will hit you like a hurricane. Are you ready to be surprised? Swamp People, a gator hunting legend whose life is as wild and untamed as the bayou itself, are centered around Troy Landry, the king of the swamp. Troy's tale is one of perseverance, family, and an unbreakable connection to the land. He has a smile that could win over a gator and a spirit more resilient than the animals he hunts. This is the story of a Louisiana legend who is still chewing his way through the swamp, from his modest beginnings to the difficulties that tried his resolve, from a love that endures to his current life. On June 9, 1961, Troy Adam Landry was born in Pierre Part, Louisiana, a tiny community tucked away in the marshy Atchafalaya Basin. Troy, the fifth generation to live off the swamp's bounty, was raised in a family of lumberjacks, moss vendors, shrimpers, trappers, and crocodile hunters. His parents were Duffy and Myrtle Landry. Troy's early years were a survival masterclass, as he and his brother Bubba learned the ins and outs of the bayou. He learned from his father how to read the ripples in the water, set a gator line, and appreciate the harshness of the swamp. Troy once remarked, "Gator hunting is in my blood," and he wasn't kidding. The swamp was more than just a place of residence for the Landrys. It was a way of life that had been inherited from centuries of Cajun tenacity. Wait, the next revelation will blow your mind. Troy wasn't pursuing wealth or fame as a youngster. He learned a trade that would define him while hunting gators for their meat, which was a staple for his family. He had mastered the art of outwitting creatures that could split a man in two by the time he was in his teens, navigating the bayou's winding channels. But it wasn't all gators and glory in Pierre Part. Troy made ends meet by juggling hunting with other crafts like trapping, moss selling, and shrimping because the swamp required a lot of work. It wasn't an easy life, but it was simple. With storms, floods, and lean seasons that try even the hardest-hearted Cajuns, the bayou can be merciful one day and cruel the next. The History Channel's 2010 debut of the reality series Swamp People, which followed the lives of alligator hunters in Louisiana's swamps, was Troy's big break. Troy and his family were chosen to star out of 5,000 gator hunters, a fortunate turn of events that would forever alter his life. During Louisiana's 30-day alligator season, Troy, his sons Jacob and Chase, and a rotating crew hunted gators for the show, which debuted on August 22, 2010. Troy became an immediate favorite among fans due to his charismatic personality, catchphrase, and ability to catch the largest gators. "People recognize us everywhere we go," Troy said in 2018 to Louisiana Travel. "It's like they're meeting movie stars." In addition to bringing fame, the show increased demand for alligator meat, which has nearly doubled since its debut. This is good news for hunters like Troy who depend on the trade. If you think you've seen it all, then listen to this. However, there were drawbacks to fame. At first, Troy was concerned that Swamp People would concentrate too much on the gory, bloody, and murderous aspects of gator hunting. He told Louisiana Travel, "It gets ugly," out of concern that the program would portray his Cajun culture in an inaccurate manner. However, the History Channel found a balance by emphasizing the goal of the hunt, reducing gator populations, while also highlighting the kindness and morals of the Landry family. But there was pressure from the cameras. In addition to navigating the chaos of filming while wrestling 12-foot gators, Troy had to slow down and exercise extra caution with the crew in tow. In 2021, he told TV Tango, "It's not too simple no more, bro," describing a life that is tugged in all directions by responsibilities, fans, and fame. Each season is a race to fill tags before the 30-day window closes, making gator hunting a high-risk, high-reward activity. Troy is known as the king of the swamp because he routinely fills more tags than any other hunter in Louisiana, but it's not easy. A single mistake could result in a flipped boat, a snapped line, or worse. Hurricane Francine and other destructive storms were unleashed by record-hot Gulf waters in Season 16, which aired in early 2025, threatening to end the season. With 2 new boats and 800 tags, Troy advanced in level, but Mother Nature put him to the ultimate test. "There is no such thing as an easy day out here," he has said, and the swamp demonstrates this every day with its floods, poaching, and fierce gators. What I'm going to tell you now has changed the direction of the story. Troy has experienced difficulties in his personal life. His battle with prostate cancer, which rocked the Landry clan, began in 2022. The surgery went well. In June 2022, he posted on Facebook, "No more prostate," thanking his doctor and supporters for their encouragement. Troy had a stronger spirit despite the aggressive nature of the cancer. As evidence of his tenacity, he was back in the swamp by 2023, playing with his grandchildren and hunting gators. Another devastating blow was the death of his mother, Myrtle, in 2021, which served as a reminder of the familial bonds that bind him. Troy has maintained his sense of humor, his faith, and his affection for the swamp despite everything. Troy's life has always revolved around love, which is rooted in his wife, Bonita Landry. Troy and Bonita, who have been married since September 26, 1981, have established a life based on cooperation and tenacity. Former bank teller and schoolteacher Bonita is still connected to Troy's world because she works as a publicist for the History Channel. They first fell in love in Pierre Park, where they spent 30 years living in a trailer, saving every dime and gathering swamp cypress wood to construct their ideal house. The end product is a gorgeous cypress home on Pierre Park Bayou, a 3-acre haven with an outdoor kitchen perfect for family get-togethers. Troy joked in 2016 that, "Sometimes we see gators in the yard. They stay away from us and we're fine." Their rustic, unpretentious style is reflected in their home, which is stocked with second-hand furniture and items from thrift stores. Jacob and Chase, the 2 gator hunting sons of Troy and Bonita, have both appeared on Swamp People. Chase, who was born in 1989, has made a name for himself on the show, while Jacob, who was born in 1983, is a captain in his own right. Additionally, Troy is the stepfather of Bonita's son from a previous marriage, Brandon. Years ago, there were unfounded rumors that Brandon had died, which were caused by confusion with another man of the same name from Louisiana. Troy treats his sons and his hunting partner, Cheyenne, Pickle Wheat, as if they were his own, and the Landry family is close-knit. Although Pickle is dating Chase, which adds a twist to the family dynamic, she and Troy share a father-daughter bond. Wait, the next thing will blow your mind. The swamp and health scares haven't been the only difficulties Troy has faced. He was cited by the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries for incorrectly tagging alligators on Lake Palourde in September 2024, which put him in legal hot water. After receiving a tip, agents apprehended Troy in St. Mary Parish using Iberville Parish tags and releasing a dead gator, violations punishable by up to $950 in fines and 120 days in jail per count. The king of the swamp suffered a setback when his boat and motor were confiscated. Although Troy remained silent and told he had nothing to say, the incident raised questions. Was it a tip from a rival? Are the cameras putting pressure on you? With a criminal case looming in January 2025 and a civil hearing scheduled for November 2024, his legacy will be clouded. There is only one truth left that will change everything. Following the season 16 wedding episode of Swamp People, where Troy Landry not only filled gator tags but also officiated Pickle's wedding, fans' romantic speculations regarding Cheyenne, Pickle Wheat, and seasoned alligator hunter Landry really took off. When she walked down the aisle in that episode, Troy made affectionate, almost paternal remarks and referred to her as the daughter I never had, comments that some viewers mistook as proof of deeper feelings. In actuality though, Pickle and Troy are both deeply devoted to their personal lives. On September 21st, 2024, Pickle wed Joshua Keepers, an emergency medical technician. The wedding footage from the episode even featured the cake with the inscription, "Pickle and Josh, September 21st, 2024. In the meantime, Troy is the patriarch of the Landry clan and has been married to his wife Bonita since September 1981. In the end, it appears that fans are confusing Pickle Wheat and Troy Landry's close working relationship and warm, mentor-like bond with something more than a romance. Just a cordial relationship and mutual swamp experiences that make their partnership such a highlight of the show so far. No solid proof.